Hello, welcome to those of you joining live today. And Siobhan, Dayo, Sam, and a few more people are probably going to hop in. And for those of you listening to the recording, thank you as well. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going to be useful for you in your journey today. Where's my sharing screen thingy? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, I don't need that. Here it is. Okay, so first of all, we start with the first slide always is most important. I'm just kidding. So these are going to be, we can call them bedtime techniques, routines. Some people call them the rituals. And we're going to look at the basics, and then we're going to share experiences. So here's the outline. So what are they from my definition, and then some examples. And the things I've been practicing personally, because I've always liked to talk more from experience or really direct cognition, knowing something that has been effective for me in my journey, or that I see has been effective for people that I know. And journaling, dream incubation, meditation, and shielding techniques. I put that together because they can be really done the same in the same space, or just if you just do a meditation too, that's fine. You don't necessarily need to do shielding, but I do think that a lot of people lately have been wondering about that, and how we can do effective shielding in order to have a more I guess the word that's coming to mind is agréable experience, like an experience that's a little more nice in the dream world. And yeah, so towards the end, we're going to open up the space for you guys to share your dreams, your experiences, whatever they may be. We've been having so many synchronicities. We're going to talk about that a little bit here. You guys have seen all the posts about foxes and all, and maybe Dayu is wondering what is going on with these foxes. So you're going to see in a bit why we've been talking about this and how this relates to the dream world and just the portals and all that. Let's call them portals. I like calling them that way, that we've been kind of opening up. So yeah, okay. And then dream interpretation, if you guys have a dream to share. Yeah, okay. So let's go on to the next slide. I hope this is, because this is covering up here. Wait, I think in the recording last time, it was okay. All right, so what are bedtime practices, right? Well, it's a sequence of actions regularly followed. So something that you do really every day, every night before you go to bed, and that it will help you do several things. So for me, what I've experienced is it does strengthen the relationship, with the dream world. So I've been remembering my dreams every single night now, since I've been really honoring that time before I go to bed. And I don't go to bed even at the same time or anything. Some people like and I was talking about this too before. It's like, oh yeah, sleep hygiene and all, and don't drink before bed, or go to bed early, go to bed always at the same time. I find that that's not really that important. It could be for some people, but for me, it's been more like just recognizing and honoring that I'm going to hop into the dream world, and then I want to retrieve information. And even we were talking about this the other day, Dio, about like, yeah, there's like this frequency fence or something, but I've actually learned that with what I've been doing, I've been able to either eradicate it or something, or just really disregard that and strengthen that relationship, like I said. And I've been remembering my dreams every single night. So yeah, and before I wouldn't all the time. And then some people started saying, oh, I can't even remember my dreams. But just the fact of talking about that subject with them and stuff, some people are starting to get more dreams. And then yeah, it's, for me, it's really a lot in the mind, and yeah, or I guess the willpower of like, oh, this is I want to do this, and I'm recognizing that this is important. So yeah, and then so when you do these practices or routines, maybe your objective is also to protect your field, your morphogenetic field, to go into the astral or higher or lower. Sometimes we go lower. Well, what's higher, what's lower, I'm just saying this in terms of like how the dimensions are pictured, but really there's, if you look at it, I guess it's called the field technique. I think there's really no up or down, high or low. It's like, that's just a perspective from like where we're at. We're measuring things all the time, and we're always having to say, based on the floor, this is high, this is low, but really the universe has no measurements like that. So anyway, that was just, to say that. But yes, we do go to different places, right? So some people feel like they need this protection, right? Because they've been either attacked or stuff and they don't like that. So if, there are things that we can do. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I have a question. Different octaves of frequency. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, different octaves. Yes, that's true. I've used that word before. Thank you, Sam. I like that word better. And then it can also help you, like I said before, improve dream recall, because we're dreaming all the time. It's just that we can't remember in the morning. That's what happens. So yeah. And what else did I have to say about this? I think we're good for that one. Let me know if you guys have questions in between. That's okay, before I switch slides, or even when I'm talking, just type it in the chat or unmute yourself. Okay, cool. So let's go to the next one. I said the next one. Hold on. Okay, so these are examples of routines or practices that I've been doing. And here I did separate meditation and protection techniques because they can be separated. So journaling, right? Writing things and really having a journal that's specific for dream recall. That's super important. I found that when I stopped doing it just on my phone, it completely changed. So I'm going to go a little bit more into detail about this subject, but yeah, journaling, right? Dream incubation. So this is a technique that is very simple. It consists of getting an answer that's pertinent and from dream world with something that you need help with, or just an issue or guidance. It's kind of like card reading, or pulling cards, but with your dreams. And it's, for me, that's even cooler because you're living it, you're in it, and you're seeing things, and people come and tell you things, or a voice comes and tells you things, and it's directly related to that question. And the more you practice, like I said, it's like the more it becomes this, like, it strengthens the relationship. Meditation, well, that's very simple. We all know what meditation is. So I don't think I have to explain that one. And then you got protection techniques. So yeah, I'll be talking a little bit about what I've been doing and how you can maybe come up with something or try something that I have recently created. So yeah, all right. So how to do effective journaling, because there is a way of doing effective journaling, believe it or not. Some people think, oh, that's easy, just write stuff down, right? Well, yeah, it can be, but like I said, I keep one that's specifically for dreams. And since I went back to that, like I was starting to say earlier, because I used to record them on my phone, and that's definitely not the same type of energy, or it just doesn't ground it the same way. So what I do now is that because when you wake up, sometimes you want to write it down, like right when you wake up too, right? But sometimes you don't really feel like it, or you're just so groggy that you don't like, whatever, I don't even have the energy. But I record it and then I pass it to my notebook later when I'm having my coffee or something. And then I was like, oh yeah, I had already started forgetting a bunch of stuff. Just the time it took me to get my coffee and stuff, I was like, oh, I had forgotten that. And I listened to the recording and transcribed everything. So yeah, so paper and pen for me are the best from experience. And then you've got to be consistent, right? You've got to like do it every night or every morning or both. I do it both. I even write down stuff that happens during the day, because it's like I've been saying lately, it's the dream world and this reality are completely intertwined. So you don't want to just say like, oh, this is it's all really a dreamscape, right? So you can really just make it your journal, like for life, but do how you feel. I write everything down, and I know Chauvin does it too. It's like when you get an image in the day, even you draw it because it seems like a potent message behind that. And then it's like your dream world kind of picks that up, and then you get that maybe same thing in dreams, or you start seeing it in this reality too. And that's what's been happening with the foxes thing, is that you start seeing stuff everywhere, and just very randomly. Like, it's not just because you're attuning yourself to that, but like Sam saw a fox in like plain daylight. Like, that's, how often does that happen? I don't know. And so stuff like that. And then also write in the present tense. And I've been having to train myself to do this because I forget, and then I switch it back to past. But when you write it in the present, it does have more power, because it's like you're still experiencing it, and then you're connecting with the emotions. you know, if the next one is capture the emotions. So it is important to consider that, and not just, oh, this is happening and then this, because oftentimes the interpretation of the dream, or what's most important, is really how you felt. I was talking to someone the other day. Is like, what does it mean? Like I was like in this space, and I was getting stabbed to death, and I was like, wow, okay. And then I got like, I escaped and blah blah blah. I don't know, I forget the dream exactly, but I'm like, how were you feeling during the dreams? Like I was getting stabbed, and I'm like, that's it, you weren't scared, nothing? No. I'm like, see, that shows that, you know, the person has no fear of death, and they've just recognized that this reality is like, what's the worst that can happen? Death? Like, really? Like, we just go somewhere else, it's fine, you know. Like, so that person has understood this and has lived so many lifetimes that they're like, you know, other people might say I was frightened, or so it all, you know, it's all different for everyone. So you might read the dream later, because sometimes they don't make sense now, but let's say you read the dream a year later, and then you didn't write down your emotions in the dream, so you're like, I'm not even sure how that can make sense, or, you know. And so writing down that emotion is super important, or no emotion, or just the feeling of it, you know, like he was telling me, like, yeah, I was stabbed to death. Anyway, um, so include the date and the timestamp, super important too, in my opinion, because these can lead to it, like we were saying, with the whole the Fox theme, is like really observing and being a researcher, being your own scientist, and seeing what are the trends, and maybe what the alignments were that day, and maybe there's something in your personal chart that has something that was relevant, and then you start seeing things like, oh, when this happens, I have dreams that are like this, or there are trends, and there are cycles sometimes also that we have to break in order to move forward to the next level of the game. So you're going to spot those with the timestamp. It's really important, like I said, in my opinion. That's why I write down the time. And for example, when I record my dream, if I wake up at 4 a.m., you know, like, sometimes I'll just put like keywords, like if I don't want to like even record. And sometimes, you know, when I'm sleeping with my daughter, she's like right next to me, you know, she's like, I'm not going to be recording next to her, you know. It's like, so I'm like, okay, I'll just type words in, right? Like, oh, I was doing this and that, and then the time is already recorded in the note. So that's also a cool thing to do. And then it's, if you do journaling, also just any time as well during the day. Sometimes you can get the timestamp from the pictures. I was asking a few of you like timestamps earlier, like, when did you see the box? What time was it? And like, yeah. So we can spot these trends together. And sometimes there are trends not just with you, but with other people. And so, for example, I asked Sam knows Claudette from Sky Astrology. He's going to check and see, oh, what could be happening eventually, even between us, like in terms of our alignments, and why we're meeting here, right? Why are we here today, for example? Why are you guys here today? And why are you resonating with this information? There's obviously a connection there. So yeah. And yeah, so that for me, like I said, has been a more, I guess, effective way, and a more yeah, powerful way to get messages and to increase the number of synchronicities, but like nice synchronicities that are actually guiding me somewhere where I know it's like the next level, versus weird stuff happening like randomly and that I don't understand. You know, now, like if you're asking questions, for example, with dream incubation, which I think is the next one, yes, then you know that your dream is reflecting an answer to that question. Or like I was sharing in one of my podcast episodes a few days ago, or last week, yeah, that sometimes you're asking a question even during the day, you're meditating, for example, or you simply connect and say, what is the question? And you're asking yourself, and then you get an answer like right away in the physical sometimes. And so that's how strong this work is. You don't need to be in the dream world to do this kind of work. It's called dream work, but like I said, this is a dreamscape too. So literally you're working with everything at the same time, right? You don't have to remember all your dreams or maybe anything at all, but your things are happening. You're working in the dream space, and then when you're here, your journal, things that are in your journal are being taken into account by your higher aspects, right? Or some people might call it the higher self, or yeah, there's so many terms, right? But I like to say higher aspects. All right. So anyway, so or that are in another octave of consciousness, like Sam was saying. Um, and so yeah, this is the dream incubation technique for me has been so much fun because I've been asking so many questions, and now I stopped. It's like, okay, I think I'm overdoing it a little bit, but because you don't want to overdo it either. I was telling this to Shobhan, I think the other day. It's like, yeah, it's like asking a friend, like every day, like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? Oh no, I don't. Why don't you have a boyfriend the next day? Or so what do you think about this guy? Or it's like it's always the same thing. And the friend at some point is like, just stop. I don't want to be in a relationship right now. Like, what I mean? So I was asking a lot of questions about my journey and stuff, for example, and I wouldn't stop asking like, what am I missing? So what's the next step? So what's this? And I was like, at some point I understood. I got a very clear voice saying she has to slow down in one of my dream incubation nights. And I was like, okay, fine. So that was, for me, this experience has been so interesting. And so, you define your question, you write it down. And like I said, sometimes you get the response at night, sometimes you get it during the day. So that's what's really cool about this experience, right? Like I said, it's like everything merges. And then because you're deciding to take active, I guess I wouldn't say like more like creative, getting creative with it. Not necessarily to control, because you sometimes you're not going to get anything, you're not supposed to know everything either. So a lot of us have to be comfortable with being in the unknown, and I know that's sometimes difficult, but a lot of us are working on that still. And then, so yeah, you define your question, you write it down in your journal, preferably, or if you want to record it in your phone, you can do that too, or in a spreadsheet. I don't know. Whatever you decide. And then you create a bedtime, I guess, a ritual or practice. And this could look many different ways. And this has to be something very personal. Examples are people, for example, write the question down in a colored piece of paper, then they wrap it, maybe they turn it into like an origami or something, or they light incense, or it could be very elaborate. Some people just sit there and meditate and hey God, some people talk to God. It's hey, I have this question, because whoever or whatever you want to connect with, even maybe a family member maybe that has passed. Some people talk to the ancestors. So but it has to be something that you're going to do consistently, and you can change it up a little bit. I've changed it up a little bit depending on what I feel is right, or sometimes like, well, what question wants to be asked today, and sometimes there's nothing, and it's like, okay, well, I'll still do my meditation and my protection technique before bed. That's what I feel comfortable doing and what has been working for me, like I said. So anyway, that's the for before bedtime. Even when I go to bed at 1 a.m., sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll do a quick shielding and then just meditate on my question, and I write it down maybe on my journal. But really quick, I won't like do a big page of like everything that happened during the day or anything. I'll just write the question and the time, the what time I went to bed, the date and everything. And then so and then when you wake up, like I said, it's super important to record the dream in your journal or in your phone right when you wake up, because if not, you're starting to right away you're going to start to forget the details, and this happens in even a few seconds. I'm like, today, for example, I knew who I dreamt with. I just completely forgot what happened, but I was thinking about it when I woke up. It's like, oh, this person again. And I was like, okay, but it was like, okay, well, I know that there's something with this person. It's just I can't remember. And then I remembered like being with another person. I don't know. Usually we have people we don't know in dreams. It's so funny. It's like I was asking them if I could rent their apartment for a whole month or something. That's all I could remember. Like, that does not sound relevant right now, but I'm still gonna write it down, and I did. So we'll see, right? And and then some people like to do this, the grounding the experience and expressing gratitude. Some people even offer something. It's like, if I get a good response to this dream, or no, sorry, if I get a response to this dream and I listen to it and it works for me, in gratitude, I will, for example, donate to this charity, or I will do this for this person. They do that, and so that's a way to express gratitude. For me lately, it's been about grounding it, and yes, expressing gratitude when I'm writing. I do say thank you a lot in my journal. It's like saying to yourself, thank you for this experience, it was amazing, or thank you for the lesson. Like if it was a horrible dream. And That's so funny. Yeah, the other day I was in a very dark place. I was like, why did I get thrown in there? It was dark. I couldn't see anything at all. I could just feel naked bodies. I was just like feeling my way around. I felt things like that I don't want to say. And then, and then I was like, okay. So instead of freaking out, I was like, how did I come in here? And I kind of found my way pretty easily. It's like, yeah, that way. But it was so freaky. And somebody told me that apparently that was hell. I'm like, okay, well, you never know, right? We like to put things in boxes, maybe, because it was like, yeah, he said that he had been there before as well. And I'm like, it's same thing. And I'm like, that's so funny, right? We share things in dreams that are very similar. With Chauvin, we had one in the library. She meets people there, and then I met her there. I had no idea she had this. It's not like she put it in my head. I did not know. It's the first time I had her in a dream too. So yeah, and I can't remember other examples. With other dreams like that with other people, but yeah, that was really interesting, right? But well, that was kind of digressing there because it has nothing to do with grounding the experience. But anyway, but yes, I do express gratitude, like I said, right? Like, thank you for this connection or whatever happened there, even though I don't know why. And not being scared of anything that happens, really. It's like I said, what's the worst that can happen? You die, okay. Well, you move on to another level or another reality, or you wake up somewhere in maybe your real life. Maybe you've been dreaming your entire life. It's like crazy, right? But why are we worried, right? It's like it's all a game, really. Yeah, the beauty of multidimensionality. I know, Sam, right? Yeah. I'm really curious to see what you've been dreaming lately, Sam. I know you have some really crazy dreams as well. And what were you telling me the other day? I forget. Well, we'll share that for the end, like, yeah, for the dream sharing part. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Unless you guys have any questions, let me know. Okay, so meditation and shielding techniques. Like I said, I just kind of merged these together, but you could just do a simple meditation, connect with yourself, your 0 point. This is what I call 0 point. It's for me, it's in the azurate, which is in the thymus. Some people would say it's the heart space, but really it's just this area right here. Right? This is what we talk about when we say 0 point. So focus on that, right? Breathe into it. You could do what we call lotus breaths. You could do whatever kind of breathing technique you want, or just sit there and focus on it and see if you can stay focused on that area for a bit and see what comes through. If you have sometimes intruding thoughts, like what I do is like, yeah, I literally let those pass. And what's a really cool thing that I've been doing is like I literally put them in a cloud. Like if it's a person, or oh, here's this person, okay, let's put them in a cloud. Here's this thought, okay, and then I blow them away. It's like you're just okay, you're here, but don't stay focused on that person and start going on a tangent or like, oh, I wonder how this person's doing. Oh, I wonder what they did today. Then you start going down another place where it's like, okay, no, you're not in your 0 point. So kind of let those flow. Yes, so let them come through. Don't like be like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, don't say I don't want to think about this, because I was talking about this. What's it called again? I forget the name of this. In psychology we call it something. I think it's like, I mean, I would call it the pink elephant effect, because because when somebody tells you don't think of a pink elephant, what's the first thing that you do? You think about a pink elephant. So it's you're not gonna, don't block the people that are coming through in your thoughts. Just like kind of sit there, okay, oh hi, and then okay, put them in a cloud. It's like, okay, so anyway, that's learning to tune into your 0 point. And then at some point you get that stillness, right? You reach that point of stillness and just like not focusing on many things at the same time, but really just feeling that peace and that calmness that's in that area. So yeah, and you can go to any other part of your body, really. It doesn't have to be the center point or the 0 point. You can focus on if you have some tension somewhere too, right? And breathe into that area and see why. Try to get information. And you can also ask your dreams about it. I've been doing that too. It's like, okay, what area in my body feels like has something that needs to be released, because we have what are called, I guess, crystallized thought patterns from karmic imprints in certain places, and they're literally physically located in certain places. You can focus and you can do a scanning and see, oh, maybe right here, and then you're focusing on that, just like really mentally focusing there, and then ask your dream, like, what information can I retrieve from here, right? So, and then you might get something. And I've gotten situations where I'm literally put in places where I'm playing out something that is for me directly linked to that area. It's really crazy. So yeah, you can try that. And like I said, even if you don't remember, you'll be doing it, trust me. So yeah, And so be present in your body, right? This is what meditation is all about. It's not about escaping somewhere else. You can do traveling, yes, okay. But being present too, right? It's like go somewhere, where do you decide to go, and don't go other places where you're not really consciously deciding to be there. But at the same time being aware of your surroundings. So that's but yeah, still being very much in your body, right? Because yeah, your body contains everything, right? It's all within you. It's just being projected in the hologram, but you're going inside, right? Focus on going inside, not going outside. Anyway, and then discover your own technologies, right? Because there are basics to how this universe works and everything, but you also have your own blueprint and your own way of doing things. And maybe some things that you really like are the things that you're going to be using. For example, one thing I really love is using wings to travel, and it's come to the point where I feel them, like I feel them moving, like when I breathe them out, and I just feel them like coming out of my shoulder blades, and I can feel the movement, and I can see it too, because I have this now. I don't know how I did this, but I can see an image of myself in front of me, and I lift my hands, and it happens. And sometimes it's like ethereal, maybe my ethereal body, but in a miniature version, if that makes any sense. And so you can train yourself to do this kind of stuff. And when I do consultations with people, I'm recently helping someone with this kind of stuff. It's like I can tell you how I did it and how it works, and then you can direct it to places. So and I see the wings as well. So, and I remember when I activated my wings and stuff, it was really interesting. So you can do certain activations for that. So, if you have any questions on that, if you'd like to try, let me know. So yeah, that's part of my technologies, is the wings, for example. And I know a lot of people resonate with wings. It's not only me, but like I know what kind of wings I have and stuff, and it's all like it's a whole thing. So and then you compare techniques and adapt them. Like you can compare what other people are doing. Yeah, what teachings are doing. Yes, that's great, because they came to your awareness for a reason. You probably created them yourself. You created them with people from another timeline and brought them here for you to learn. So that's perfect, right? Because we do hear a lot in mainstream spirituality, like, oh, don't listen to anybody else but yourself. No, don't listen to that. That's bad. In a way, yes, but there's like a fine line, right? It's like, well, it is yourself, really. It's as long as it feels good and it came into your awareness organically. I think that's the way to go. If somebody's pushing things onto you and say, this is it, then probably not. Especially depending on how you feel about it, right? You have to think about that. Like really tune into the encryption and stuff behind the words. Yeah, the energy behind the words of people. And there's some people that preach that, yeah, you have to focus on the energy of the words, and then they're doing stuff that so yeah. Literally listen to that, but really feel into it. And eventually, even if it wasn't good, let's say quote unquote good, the truth will come to light, because you are evolving and you're changing and you're realizing things and you're catching things and you're catching yourself when things haven't worked. And you're learning also to act from a place of more like, okay, this feels good, but this feels kind of bad, but it may be scary, but in the good way. Like like when you've done this before and you've listened to that feeling, something good happens. It's like, oh, I'm not so sure because it feels kind of frightening. Well, but does it feel frightening like exciting, or does it feel like kind of frightening but because it's probably not a good idea? Right? So because I've had people tell me, oh, it's probably because you're not ready for it, or because this is for you, I've seen you here. And one girl was telling me, I've seen you, we were working together, and it was to join some group like weaving thing with money and stuff, and I lost a bunch of money there, because I believed the girl more than I believed myself. I was like kind of icky about it. I was like, she's like, no, that's fine. That's like it's a blockage. It's like she wasn't bad. She wasn't a bad person, but for her, it's like she had seen me working there, and she's saying, oh, and then you are amazing at it, blah blah. I'm like, of course I'm amazing at it. Of course. That doesn't mean I like it, like. So, so I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. She's like, yeah, you just have to go through these, you're putting barriers because like blah, 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 trauma or whatnot. I don't remember exactly, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So I still went for it because I'm like, I'm going to see, I like trying things no matter what. It's like, wait, just go throw yourself in there. And see money as energy. I'm like, whatever. I think I lost like 1,000 euros because I pulled out, and of course I didn't get my money back. I was like, no, I don't like the people here. I don't no, isn't you gotta like feel it, right? It's like not just go for the first opportunity that comes into your mind, or the first technique that shows up in your reality, like, oh, this is it. So yeah, that was really long for this really last thing about comparing techniques and stuff. And then not only techniques, right, but joining groups and stuff, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, it might feel good to do that, but maybe like maybe later it'll change, as well. Like I was saying, we evolve, and it was maybe not such a good idea, but you learn stuff from it, right? You got to be grateful for that. So write it in your journal, like, oh, expressing gratitude for leaving this group. I learned so much from these people, and now I feel more free, right? And you're good to go for the next level, or maybe the next group of people that might, something similar might happen again, but it's okay. You're learning more things, right? You're going to move on. You're going to transform over and over and over again. So yeah, don't get too much caught up in like if it's right or wrong. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is the technique that I just designed, and it's up on my website. So, and like I said, this is of course optional, and it's like, yeah, in the what's it called, meditation and journey section. I think I'll send you guys a link in case you want to try it. And this is a cool way, to test, like I said, and then maybe tweak it. And it's based all on eternal life practices and things that I have done, and then a few other things that I kind of put together and that I have heard also from other people that I tried then later. I was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. I've been connecting a lot with people that are kind of changing, or kind of bringing something new to the eternal life practices, which I think is really cool, because some things are a little outdated. Yeah, so it's called Rainbow Shields. That's what I named it, because of the way I saw this happening in my body, like literally saw it, and I was like to tears after. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. And it felt a lot like yeah, like a very strong energy. Well, and so yeah, if you want to try it, this is a way to support my work as well, because I like providing free content. So like this kind of workshop and stuff, and it's I think it's 12 euros on my website. So yeah, if you want to try. And then you've got so what's recommended, because I do have like a symbol, that I came up with, a very simple one. And I've also been trying symbols, like I said, from people that I've met lately that are very mathematically inclined and are very much into this eternal life geometry, that have brought up some really powerful codes. So I'm going to just show you a few examples of things that you can use, or you can use your own image. So this is what's important, right? And I do write it down in the description. It's like, come up with your own image first, or use an image. You can use one of these. For example, this one is really powerful. It's like replacing what is known as the Akasha, which we found had a few, kind of little things that we could say are kind of like distortions, not in a bad way, because it does the work amazingly, but we have to like evolve and come up with new things, right? That's what we're here to do as well as a group. So Starfire Harmonics came up with this one. I thought was really, really cool. Oops. Well, I just wanted to move just in case this recording is like, because you guys are covering the the Starfire Harmonics thing. I do want to give them credit for that. Yeah, and my daughter even loves this one. She loves the thing, this one that's behind as well. She's like, she does shielding, and she's like, it's this color, it's like this. So she's like so into it, and she was like, we have another one that we use to picnic and stuff, and she lays on it. And yeah, so she, I trust kids a lot, in their energy. It's like they know, they just kind of know things, and so she's so drawn to it, and so this is a very similar with the crystal, with the lotus spiral in the middle. And then you've got this other one too that I tried one time. This is an older version that he had done, and I think it's just really cool. And you can also do what's called pineal gland induction with these. So it's like you breathe it in, and put it in your pineal gland, and you breathe it out, expand it all over your body to feel the, again, like they said, the encryption. For me, it was just like amazing. You guys can do it now if you want. Put it up there. Yeah. So yeah, let me know if you guys would like to have any of these images to try for your shielding and stuff. So like I said, this is replacing what's called the Akasha, which is the one used in the technique called, and I have this one for free too on my website, because this is just everywhere already. What's it called? Maharic Shield. So we have this like tweaked version I did with Georgie, Eternal Encryption on Instagram, and then afterwards Starfire Harmonics told us, yeah, there's another symbol, other symbols that you guys can use, like this one, right? And there's this one too. I thought was really cool. Sorry, it has a question. Blue, yeah, blue is a very beautiful. This aqua blue is a very beautiful color. What Starfire Harmonics was saying is that this area, this as you could call it chakra, but like it's I said they call it dantians as well. But that's the color it turns into. He says that he from his experiences that everything starts shifting, and this area is not green really. It's more like an aqua blue. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's like they focus on 3 main areas, and it's like the colors of the kundalini and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And then you've got the colors like right here too. And there's the pale yellow. I don't know if it can. No, there's no pale yellow in this one. No, there's some yellow up here. But yeah, so that's an example of an image you can use. So personally, I like this other one. Oops, my favorite one is this one. Yeah, so try it out, see how you feel, right? It's like I said, compare like what feels good, what feels bad. No, let's not see it that way. Feel it more for like what's better than what I used to do before, and if it's not, then I leave it behind, or I tweak it and I do something different. But I think it's nice to compare, right? What like I said, what's the worst that can happen? You die. Oh, okay, well, I'm just kidding. I don't think anybody has died from using these codes. Anyway. Does these images activate something? Yes, they do, Dio. And you know what? The Maharic Shield, this is a really powerful technique. And this one, like I said, is available for free for download. And access to the dream world, well, you know what? It could definitely help because it does clear distortions in our DNA, and it aligns them more with like the original blueprint. And also, yeah, to clear that line as well, to connect with our higher aspects. It starts a lot of healing as well. And let me tell you, I've experienced these firsthand. I know Sam has. I'm not sure if Chauvin you've tested these images at all, or like you know, stuff like flame bodies and stuff like the techniques. And I saw many things and experienced many things after like doing these activations. I definitely felt the difference. I felt their effectiveness, and that's why I share them. So yeah, I mean, exactly, because I know, yeah, you were saying, Dio, that you were having this difficulty remembering your dreams. Like I said, I do feel like there's this frequency fence or something for a lot of people. But yeah, these things do help you a lot, like override. I've been doing these practices for like the past couple of months every single night, because I kind of was on and off a lot before. Now, ever since I do them every single night, yeah, you're welcome. Now, ever since I do them every single night, I remember my dreams every night, like I said, and plus the journaling. I think the more you do, the more it's like it intensifies. You know, it's like with whatever, I guess it's like the more you focus on something or the more you believe something, and if it's really meant to be for you, for your journey, it's going to materialize here. Otherwise it won't, because it's not meant for you. But it does, it helps to really be consistent, you know, and like I said, honor that relationship with the dream world. I think that's like a key thing, right? It's that honoring the process and wanting, like actively really wanting to remember the dreams, because some people block them because they think they might get something scary in them. And it's like some people are scared to dive deep into their emotions or their experiences because of all the crazy stuff that can happen in dreams. But and other people, you know, just don't take them into account anymore because they don't really care. And, you know, it's like the dreams will kind of stop trying to bring messages through if you don't really care. So yeah. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen and open it up to questions and all. So you guys can unmute yourselves and let me know what you think. Yeah, who wants to go first? Robin, you want to go first?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I've tried some of those techniques and they definitely did help me in my place. And as you say, like, it's always good to adapt and evolve. And I do really, really recommend like going into meditation if you can, and just asking for your own symbol or sign that you can draw. It doesn't have to be anything like super fancy, but I think it's always good to have that connection with your higher aspect to bring through your own technologies. But it is good to start with these other things too. I feel like they're important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved those Starfire ones. They're beautiful. I love the first one too.
Yeah, isn't it? In blue, it's really pretty. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, some people are bringing forth, I think, some technologies that can really help humanity a lot, just in general. And that's what I was saying too at the beginning, is that I do feel like a lot of the spiritual community is like, oh, don't listen to anybody else. And they see that
Yeah,
as a, so, but but we are, that's why we're here too. We're here to help each other with these. And some people are super good at these math and figure and
yeah,
geometry, figuring them
exactly.
out. And
Yeah.
we don't necessarily have to be that way either. Like we could, but we don't have to. We could focus on something else and let them do that work, and then use their symbols, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
maybe come up with something simple. Huh?
I think you and I were saying the other day that like each of us has like a sort of specialty and we're all got some piece of the jigsaw. So it's like we all converge and bring it to the forefront for everybody to utilize.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's lovely to see that kind of work coming through that can help us. And like you said, I think it's important to, if something comes into your field, there's a reason why, and to just take what resonates from it and just leave anything that doesn't feel good to you.
Yeah. Perfect. That's beautifully said, because yeah, you have to kind of sift through the information, and yeah, not take everything that is in one theory or one person and just say, oh, that's it. And I don't agree either with saying, oh, this person has a distortion here, or the, and just discard everything that they've ever said. No, that
I'm just so over this, like they're distorted, he's distorted. It's just like
right? I think it's all distorted, and but but these things, these symbols do clear a lot of those distortions.
yeah.
I can tell you for sure that I felt the effects, and then I came up with my own symbol, and I use that. And sometimes I use both, but I do oftentimes is I use the Akasha from Starfire, and then mine I put it somewhere else. Then I merge them, and then it depends on what I really want to do. But yeah, you can use different things, and sometimes one day I'll just use my symbol, and then connect to something that's completely different, that has nothing to do with the Christic teachings or eternal life practices. But most of the time I do mix both, especially because I do feel that the colors have it's very powerful in terms of the harmonics that you're connecting with, and the octaves, like Sam said, is like, what octave are you connecting with, right? Sometimes it's like, if you're connecting with certain colors, they do pertain to a certain stargate, which is also pertaining to your chakras that are maybe, yeah, hold many distortions. And then the colors, like these aqua colors, for example, like the pink, the blue, the aqua, the pink, and then the turquoise, and the turquoise, like the aqua, and what's the other one? These are the kundere one, and then the manu, it's manu, mane, and ire. So the yellow, pale yellow.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are higher up in the dimensional fields, according to if we're stacking them up, but in any case, these are more like it's the light fields, and you got the sound field. I forget exactly how it works in terms of like what is in what, but yes, you've got then the other dimensions where it's like, oh, there's the lower ones are going to be more like, for here I think it's carbon based and stuff, and then you've got different, it's different matter that you have for each dimension. It's a different kind of essence to it, so iridescent color, yes, iridescent colors, yeah, or like heliotalic frequencies, you can call them too. I know heliotalic is like, sorry, that's when they're all the hues of the rainbow, and it's like all pastel colors. I like working with those a lot, and that's so funny that Siobhan got me in a dream doing portals, and they were these colors, right? That's so funny. See, and I hadn't told her anything about that. So
Yeah.
that was like, that's when the whole fox thing started. So
I was
yeah.
gonna ask you, would you share your symbol, or is it best to keep it just for yourself, do you think?
I think it's best to keep it for yourself,
Yeah.
because well, especially it depends on also like I guess what's the intention behind it and everything. If it's for your own protection stuff, I would just keep it to yourself, because some people could either misuse it, or maybe get activated but in a way that's not meant for them or something. Some people say it could be detrimental. I don't know. I don't really believe much in that, but I keep mine more private now. I used to share a little more of that kind of stuff, but I just stopped doing it, because I'm like, yeah, if it's just for me, then
Yeah.
I feel like it's for everybody, like what Starfire is doing. Yeah, sure, go for it. But otherwise, and I'm not like, I can't do if I did, it would be really cool, and I might share it. It's not, it's just a squiggle. So yeah, come up with your own squiggles, and it's like have fun with these squiggles and run them through your body. Seriously, it's interesting because I showed mine to my daughter because I used to draw. I like have the shower is like has like it's all like I guess window or glass, and I used to do it like drawing it on the glass at every side. For some reason, I love doing that, and my daughter saw it one time and she's like, "What is that?" And so every time not every time, but like she often asks me, "Can you draw the symbol?" Isn't that cool? Like that's how you know when your child is telling you that's I like that, do it, and then it's powerful, you know. And I was like, oh, it's just a squiggle, but but it's more than that, and it means more to you. And I even had it in a dream, and somebody was telling me that we were time traveling with it or something. This girl was telling me, yeah, it's for time travel, or I was saying it, I forget. And then it was in a weird like container with water and stuff. It was in there, and it was like the shape of a head. It was really weird, but anyway, we were time traveling. Yeah. So yeah, and then you can set different intentions for different symbols. So if that one, for example, would be time travel, I could draw another one that's specifically for protection, and then you write it down as well. So that is super powerful too. You not only say it, you're like when you're doing your technique, you're saying this is for that maybe, but it's always good to ground it. Like I was saying, you're grounding things is when you write them down, you're grounding them. So do that, draw it, do the colors that come out and whatever. And so yeah, and you're gonna have it like not only with sound with what you're saying, but also with words and then you're writing, and then color is like another. It's like all the different ways of activating yourself. Even looking at it physically is very powerful as well, and you can do that technique of like pineal gland induction, like I was saying, and breathe it into your pineal gland and then run it through your body and then expand it. And, you know, through this technique I posted on my website, I teach you, I guide you through that, and I tell you what chakras to focus on and where they're located. I even did it in centimeters and in feet, because I know some people do feet, other people do centimeters. So I was like, oh, I tell you where they are and like, you know, what to focus on to run them through those areas, and then where to expand it and everything. So yeah, and what was I getting at with this? Or did you want to say anything else?
No, that was great. Thank you. I'm gonna try and draw something for me.
Yeah, you're gonna draw something for yourself, like for a technique?
Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool. I was gonna say show me, but no, that's not good.
Defeats the
I like super curious now. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing that. Do you want to share anything about foxes lately, or not yet? Because that's another topic. But
no, I think I'm good for now.
Okay, great. But you know, just to give some context, especially for Dio and Sam, because they probably just these foxes, and then Sam saw foxes more or less yesterday. So it's like, yeah, we just kind of all of a sudden I pulled out a card that was I'm writing down the timestamps, guys. This is so cool. Claudette asked me, so July 14th at 1:26. That's when you wrote down, Siobhan, in a bathroom window door or a wall, right?
Yeah.
Because you just got this download, like trust your intuition, follow the red fox. Because a bunch of people wrote on the wall, and then you're like, I want to draw something here too. Follow the red fox, she put on there. She's like, why did I write that? And then so that was July 14th at 1:26. July 15th at 2:15 exactly, I pulled a card with red foxes on it during a reading on my YouTube channel, and I had no idea what Siobhan had did the day before. This was not like put in my head and manifested through the card. No, it's just appeared. And I was like, yo, this is fox. I was even doubting about how to say foxes, if it plural had an ES at the end or not. And I said fox. This is fox, and she had written fox, so that made sense, right? It had to be singular the way I said it. And so she wrote me at around 1:30 or 1:30 9:30 p.m. my time, saying, hey, I got earringing, right? She got earringing when listening to my card reading. That was July 15th, at 9:30. And then when I mentioned Alice in Wonderland in there too, and that's when you got the earringing. And then on July 18th, so that was a few days later, Siobhan watches the new Spider-Man movie, and in that one, there's Doctor Strange, who is holding a cup with a red fox in it. So there's another fox right there. And then the next day we were going to do a call, and then I decided if we should do the live that day, and then she was going to go to tennis, and finally she didn't, and we got the chance to do the live where people hopped in that also resonated with Fox as well, and I guess also because we called it Follow the Red Fox. But anyway, and then this other person who wasn't really tuning in that day but saw it later said she had that as a spirit animal. A guy also from and it's funny because these people are all in the Sky Astrology group. Sam, Natasha, yeah, and then and then Claudette had seen some foxes a while before. So it's like you get these symbols, right? And what I was saying is it doesn't have to be a red fox, it could be anything, but you're tuning into those synchronicities through the journaling and through that intention, like I was saying, and everything starts happening not only in the dream world, because then I forgot about the dream you had. I didn't put it here because it wasn't really fox seeing, but like, because I'm just writing down things for the foxes. But then Shaban had a dream where I was opening portals and bringing in all my what's it called, probable selves into this reality. So and then we're getting codes about this, because how does traveling work, right? How do we really open these portals? And I've found, like, yeah, I'm literally doing that. Like, even just here, we don't have to go elsewhere. Like, you just bring it all here. That's so true. So we're going to talk more about this subject very soon. We got to like put more puzzle pieces together and see where these foxes are taking us.
I'll just say as well quickly, yesterday I went to a place in I just went on a day trip, and I went to this waterfall, if you saw.
Yes, that was beautiful. Yeah.
All these amazing portals opening with like pink lights. I've actually captured it on my phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like full of portals. So,
wow,
and I wasn't meant to go there. We actually got a little bit lost, but we just continued going to this space. And then as soon as I got there, I knew that I'd been there in a different life.
Sam got lost.
That's what happens. It's meant to happen.
Yes.
You're torn, or you're in a daze and you just keep on driving and you trust it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you end up somewhere. Yeah, that you were.
You saw the fox because you did a wrong turn, no, Sam?
Yeah, I missed my turn. I missed my turn. I was in a daze. And then I missed my turn, and then there's a fox. I don't know.
That's crazy. It's really crazy. So yeah, and because some people might say, oh, just because you're thinking about foxes now you're seeing them everywhere. It's not just, well, in a way it is, because you are bringing them in, but they're bringing in certain information, and it's happening at specific times. So that's why we're recording the times, to see what maybe some alignments we can find there. Like astronomically, right? And then and then also, so on July 21st at 7:13 p.m., I take a picture of a red fox that I see painted on a pillar during my walk. And then on July 22nd at 4:15, I pull another card from a different deck, different than the one I had pulled before, with a red fox that I cannot find anywhere anymore. I wanted to take a picture of it, and it's nowhere. It just disappeared. It literally disappeared. I'm like, where did I put? I didn't put it elsewhere normally. Like, it was this deck. It's like it should be in here. And I checked the other deck. I checked my notebook. I'm like, nowhere to be found. So I'm gonna find it somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you guys know, and I'll record the time. Right? Let's see what happens. Maybe that's for a reason, right? And then on July 22nd at 6:07, I'm recording everything on my time. Like, this is CST time. Sam sees a red fox in a parking lot. So that is so cool, right? Like, all these things that we're just combining, like the dots and everything. And so yeah, then you start getting all these people joining in, right? And through like the portals that have been opened. Yeah, to me, that's what we're doing, really. It's like, and now Dayo is here, you're joining our portal too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So, all right, what else did you guys want to say? All right, go ahead, Shaban or Sam, whoever wanted to say something.
I wanted to ask Siobhan, where was that you end up going where the waterfall was?
Do you know it's the Sleeve Bloom Mountains in Leeds? Yeah, so up there is a place called Glen Barrow Waterfall.
Let me write it down.
And
you should go see the portal.
Yeah.
But this is the point, like, we were trying to get to that waterfall, but we didn't. We got lost. And
so you don't know where you went?
Well, I know now where it is. I can send you it, Sam, if you want to go to this exact location. But the whole thing was like, I was trying to get to this waterfall and we got lost. And I asked the guy for directions, and he said, oh yeah, do this, this, and this. And again, we got lost. And so we just saw this like path and we were like, come on, let's just follow it. Someone had said there might be a waterfall that way, and we went there, and it was the most amazing waterfall, and there was no one there because I don't think a lot of people know about it. And like I said, I saw these portals there when I looked on my phone, and I could just sense the energy, and I just knew I'd been there before. So it's like our soul was leading us that way to collect something, you know. But yeah, it's on the border of Leash and Tipperary, basically, Sam.
Tipperary, okay.
Yeah, you should come down. We can go.
I must take a trip.
There you go, definitely. And for anybody listening to the recording, if you're in Ireland, go check out that place.
Yeah, amazing.
Nice. Yeah, and so I was like all over the place the other day, like looking at all these things that were like literally manifesting in my reality from either dreams. So I was like, I have seen this place in a dream. Oh, this is like yeah, it looks like a port, and I was seeing a bunch of portals everywhere too. You know, Dio, you know how like we have so many things that are like tunnels that you look at it and it looks like it's infinite, like it goes like a portal. And or this tunnel that I went through that was literally blue and purple, and those are the energies I connect with a lot. And it's like, and yeah, and so the Showa, like, and then blue, I think you're connecting with blue a lot, Sam, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
What is it? Do you know what I keep coming across? Sirius, and
The
it's
star?
like, no, I feel like it's a race of beings, and it's connecting with, or I'm not too sure, but it's so funny. I keep seeing the word, and then I seen someone's post and they were talking about, and they were saying with the connection blue.
Let me see.
And it was a portal or something they were talking about, and maybe it is to do with the sky, I'm not sure. And then I was in the park the other day, and a woman was calling her dog, and she was like, come on, Sirius. And I was like, did you
really? Look, yeah.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, blue. There.
Yeah. It's actually indigo. It's actually an indigo color, dimension 6.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I keep seeing either on a van, a woman called her dog Sirius, and I'm like,
funny.
How did that happen? I keep seeing this word, and then the color blue as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing blue as well, actually.
What's that?
I'm seeing the color blue as well.
And then what's the
last? When you get a flash or you see a blob of like blue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so garden, I seen it.
Yeah, because we've seen quite a bit of blue. I see a lot of blue and purple. Yeah, when I do like meditations and stuff. So yeah, that's super cool. I do feel like we connect to these like I said, these frequencies, right? Because they belong to a certain, like an energy center or a stargate, and maybe there's some work that we're doing with that. Like it's still not very clear, right, what we're doing exactly, but that's, yeah, keep connecting to that and see what you get. You can do the dream incubation technique I suggested and ask your dream, and the question might be answered like right away, sometimes in this reality, sometimes in the next day, but as long as you keep it there, you know, and don't overdo it either. If it doesn't come, then it's fine, you're not supposed to know yet, but it might come later on. And so, but at least write it down, right? Like, what is this blue, or what is but try to make it like formulate the question, like let me know if you need help formulating the question so that it's clear and that it's not like, you know, like double question or something like that, or something that is very vague, that your dream is probably not going to give you a response that makes any sense, even though they don't make sense much most of the time. But yeah, let me know how it goes for you if you want to try that. Yeah, write a question down for that to get more information, because yeah, there's so many things that could be like, I'm just thinking for me, yeah, I that's what I immediately thought about. Like I've seen it on the Cathara, you see, so there might be something there.
And then the codes that you were shown there are blue, and I've just wrote something down, because have you seen Chris's live? Anyone seen Chris's live with the arc?
Oh yeah, the arc, yeah.
And
yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Huh?
I've been using the arc as in, like, you know, like a frequency band that you would have, and it's like a seed. It looks like an eye, the shape of an eye. So I've been doing that around my whole body. And what I've been doing is connecting the top to the heart of the universe, the heart of source, and then the bottom to the core of the earth. And I've been imagining like iridescent colors around me, and I felt it being so powerful. And then when you showed me that
that's very similar to what I've been doing, actually. Very similar. But I'm not doing so much an arc. It's me, it's more like a real bubble, but like and then you're a pillar. Yeah, but it is not like this. It's more like this, like you said. Yeah.
It's more like, do you ever see like a frequency band, sort of like it goes like that?
Oh yeah,
and it's
okay,
like that. It's like the shape of an eye. But then what I did when you were showing the codes there, I did the teardrop, but both ways, and it makes an eye. So like that's the teardrop there,
right?
And then there's a teardrop there, and then it made an eye.
That is really interesting. Yeah.
So
wow.
Interesting. So that's what I've been doing. But it's so funny that the teardrop on both ends, if you
that is yeah
it's interesting. Yeah, that's been really resonating lately.
Let me know what else comes up for you on that. I'd love to know. You know, I'll do another one of these workshops soon too, when we'll share more stuff. That'd be really cool to know.
Cool.
Oh, awesome. Did you want to say anything else, Sam? Because I know Dio wanted to say something.
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. Hey, Dio, did you want to say something? He's gone. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we lost him, but I don't know if he was still really there or not, but yeah. Anyway, it's been really nice talking with you girls. Oh, he's back. Hey, Dio, we lost you there for a bit. How are you?
Excuse me, I wanted to switch on my mic.
And you left.
And then I mistakenly pressed something else. It's been a pleasure to listen to you all, and seriously, it's amazing to hear, I mean, the effects of the images you shared earlier, because I do know that you know, everything is about what you believe, you know, and the intentions you put towards it and everything. And to be honest with you, if I say I know how this world works or this universe works, I'll be lying. But it's always nice to listen to perspectives from different people and experiences. And I have my own experience with such images that I purchased that were destined for a particular kind of effect in the human morphology. I had something like that that was created to help with the root chakra and grounding and stuff like that. Physically, do I know what he did to me? I don't know. But what I know is you meditate right in front of it, repeating a mantra for like an hour and a half. And it actually recodes your entire DNA. And I believe like everything is a portal, you know, just like you were talking about here in Paris, we have lots of columns, we have lots of pillars and stuff like that. And I even came across some information recently, like even the doors at our homes are portals. Like when you feel like you're going to the bathroom or you're going to the kitchen. But because we are so 3D limited, we just think we're just like circulating and stuff like that. It's just so many crazy things. And
wait, I have to interrupt you, sorry, because how do you say door in French?
Portail.
Oh, wow.
Is like and then portail, yeah, that would be portal.
Yeah, it's doors. And to be honest with you, it's just like it's just like some things I don't even know where to start. Like I'm such a baby in this journey, but I also know that I'm literally not a baby. But it's like when I'm, okay, for example, you see the images you showed earlier, I knew you through Chris. And Chris, I knew there was a time he shared some images and he was like, those images, all you just need to do is stare at them, and that they were activating stuff.
Yeah.
I am a very, 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 like, I used to, not like I used to look up to people, but there are just some things that now they are now the thing to do for me. And when I see like there was this post you shared like this week. You were like, oh, welcome to the Matrix. When I see like you, when I see Chris, when I see the healing spirit, I know you follow the healing spirit on IG.
Oh
yeah, he does.
Love
That's
it.
like my new aspiration of
Mm.
like things I want to like. I don't know. Like sometimes I judge myself because people are always telling me, well, yeah, but you're so into material world. But I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You when I see people speaking in light language, when I see people speaking in light language, when I see people doing different stuff that I never knew we had access to before, that I didn't even know, aside, let's go to church and come back home and go about our lives. I'm so impressed because that to me is the new fashion. That to me is like that's like the hip thing. Like even sometimes like I'm following like Inahata, whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so like, where? Like it transports me to like this fantasy world that I know. And before you could be like, I don't think so, but I've witnessed so many adventures through people who film their light bodies. And it blows my mind. I mean, it's almost ridiculous being in this body. It is almost ridiculous to be in this vessel that we are in, and that all we do all day is wake up in the morning, go to work, have food, go out and stuff like that, because there's so much more going on when you're able to see the way the light particles, the light atomic particles, the way they react when you're moving your finger. It's a whole load of consciousnesses moving your fingers, moving your eyes, moving your ears and everything. Then you get to understand the meaning of marvelousness. But we are so like thinking the marvelousness is the Rolls Royce, is the Bentley, is the blah, blah, blah. I mean, the fact that you could walk from point A to point B, that's taking like trillions of, you already are trillions of cells. So when you start looking at things like what's really happening behind the scenes, it's tough. It's tough when you go through things in the Matrix and maybe you get to rub shoulders with some people, or you get to get into some friction and everything. But when you're looking at it from the esoteric context, and you're looking at it from the Neo Agent Smith lens, it's mind-blowing, because you're feeling like you gave someone a smack. You're feeling like you gave someone a smack, but that is the physical manifestation of that energy. So can you imagine on several other planes, like it just goes far, and it's things that blow my mind. And so when I'm in the presence of you guys and you speak about experiences and everything, because like I told you, I'm the kind of person, I can feel something, I can kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's what they would call projection. But ever since I was little, I could just imagine a scenario. But someday, sometime, something like that would happen in the physical reality. And then it might be weeks later, or maybe years later, that I'll be able to put the connects together. Like, remember, you already thought of that. Like, and then sometimes, and sometimes that was the only, I would say, when people are like, you know, you have to separate yourself for elevation and stuff like that, I never really felt like that was something that it's important for everybody. But for me, it was like, before there were spaces like this, I was just the type of person, like, to my regular friends, I would just express things. I didn't know that that was like, you know, telling people too much. Because I was just like, I felt something, something, you know, and then comes the gaslighting, because, and then comes different things, and then comes the your cuckoo. But
yeah, those people are not for you. That's the thing.
oh my God, listen, I listened to, I don't know if you're aware of this guy, Sevan Boma.
Mm.
I
You too,
listened,
yeah,
I listened to one of his lectures today, and I'm gonna have to take a re-listen, but because most times the gems are in between the jokes, or in between the very slight remarks, which is really where, if you've been in alignment, you'll be able to catch what the gold really is, and be able to like, oh, so that's really what, you know. And it was crazy when it was explaining something about what happens when you die, depending on how you programmed your subconscious, because it's kind of like, even when you get out of this body, do you really know you're out of this body if you didn't say to yourself you died? You know,
yeah.
and it was just so broad. And so when I'm in presence of people like, you know, that you always get to visualize your dreams and you can recapitulate in them and stuff like that, I'm just like, it's a lot.
But
it's a lot.
I love how you're like, you know, I was saying this is a dreamscape too, and you are doing a lot of, like, let's call it dreaming in this reality. Like when you just told me that you have these visions or images of things that happen, and then they happen weeks later maybe, but it's similar to the dreaming thing. It's like a prophetic dream. That's really cool. So
one thing I'm going to tell you is this. I'm a bit confused about something. Just give me a second, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm a bit confused about is the fact that
splashed water on my face.
I'm sorry, because I had something on in the kitchen before.
Yeah, no worries. I just telling you.
Yeah. But don't worry, I turned it off so I can concentrate on you. So it's like, if imagination creates reality.
You were the one who said imagination is creation, and I knew I'd seen that somewhere, and I love the phrase too, like imagination is creation.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, I don't know, maybe it's the time and the place to dive into so many things, but I would just say whatever comes to mind.
Yes, please. Are you guys okay with time, or we can stay a little bit, right? I don't yeah, we want to hear.
We're interested.
Okay, thank you. So it's just like, if imagination creates reality, that means if you can think about it and you can see it, you can visualize it, then you can bring it to life. But the thing is, that's why unity is very important. Because the thing is, sometimes you might be all by yourself, because when you realize that all is all and all is nothing, then it's like, what really do I really want to bring into the reality? Because regardless of whatever, no matter how immortal we are, at some point in time, given the way this place is set up, this body can't contain this consciousness forever. You're going to have to change suit.
I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to change suit. So it's kind of like, sometimes, you know, it's when you're talking with someone else that you get this idea just comes in. You might be the biggest meditator, whatever. You might not get that idea until you go to Starbucks, you buy something, and then you walk out, and then something just flashes in your mind, and you're just like, oh yeah, I get it now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do this, blah, 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 blah. Because it's a stream. And so that stream, you just going to have to click into what particular movie in the stream of Netflix, of reality, of your field that you want to project onto your big screen, which is your reality, your physical reality. And it's so crazy because, you know, the duality aspect and the whole gravity and the whole this dense reality just makes things a whole lot complicated. And then humans are ignorant, and there's a lot of ego. You know, I've been in groups where we're so well advanced, we're so well put together and everything, but when I come with the concrete discussion of you are me and I am you, it becomes no, you're you, you're you, you're you, and I am I. And it comes with I don't ever want to be you. And that comes from a context of you don't ever want to be me as per. And then, so, you know, at some point in time, I'm like, collective consciousness, your own consciousness, because you all didn't come here collectively at the same time. But when they're telling you your external reality isn't solid, it's your projection, you know, a lot of things get confusing, because in my mind, I wouldn't be an asshole. I'm sorry, excuse my French. I wouldn't be an asshole to anyone. I would only be an asshole to you if you were an asshole to me, or if you were an asshole to me and I knew you were an asshole and I pointed it out to you that you were an asshole, and you gaslighted me that you weren't an asshole because you thought I wasn't smart enough. And then I come out on top, then I'm gonna have to let you know, I don't care what, regardless of whatever. You thought I wasn't smart. I knew what I was saying at the time. Now I am proving it to you again. But then it's kind of like, who are you proving what to? So it's a context. Like, I'm at a point, seriously, I'm at a point whereby most times when I'm by myself, or maybe no matter how great whatever I might be doing, maybe sometimes I'm in some sort of way just telling my subconscious, enjoy it now because I don't want to be here again. You get my, like, subtly,
I see what you mean.
like, if you are me and the other two ladies are also me, but we're in it's the avatar and the illusion that makes the separation. So when we share these experiences, what else am I coming back to experience? That you came as a lady, you have a daughter, you live in Paris, and you have a different, you know, we're all, it's like kind of like these days, and it's always been like that since I was a kid. I would switch on a movie, and within the first 16 seconds, I know how it's gonna go, so I just switch it off. Whereas the movie just came out 2022. I'm like, really? I can figure it out already. Next. Like, I'm like, where are people here, you know? But the thing is, I never, not that I never knew, we never felt it was that real, that we were the ones that were imagining how we wanted things to go. Now, when it comes into our physical reality, it might not take the actual 100% form, but it's a very good duplicator of what you were thinking in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You might think in your mind that you want to be with a guy that's like this and da 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 da. He might be tall, but he might not be 6'4". But they still brought you something tall.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of a thing. If they brought you someone that was like 5'2", now, no, that wasn't the request. The universe didn't understand the assignment at that moment.
Yeah, either that or that person just has something there to teach you and
that needed to deliver to you at that, you know. It's so many things on my mind, and it's like I'm how will I put it to you? Like, you guys have spoken about dreams and everything, but for me, lately, I feel like I've always felt like that. And someone said something, there's this guy called Feel Good. He had said something like that in one of his videos a long time ago. Like, he never dreams because he feels like his whole existence, like you wake up in the morning, you do everything you're doing, he's already in the dream, doing the dream. I'm telling you, when I sleep, I sleep.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Only if I had like a little scuffle, or probably I have like an appointment on my mind, or something like maybe a plane to catch or something like that, then I might do like turn throughout the whole night and then wake up and whatever. But even when I'm at strangers, everyone has always told me, you sleep like a baby. I don't know. I'm that's why I was like, these images activate the dream space. Like, I just sleep. And when I wake up, I just do know that I'm in this body because it's the same face that I'm used to. It's the same body, it's the same everything. And it's now with being on this path that has made me not feel like a weirdo for thinking, oh, you know, I could wake up someday and I would find myself in the body of an Ethiopian, or maybe in another space, or maybe now looking at it from the context of you wouldn't even be in this flesh and you would be doing blah, blah, blah. And all I've just been thinking is, how would you be able to make that come to pass, although you're already existing in other realms? So then I'm looking at it from the context of being virtuous and being very, you know, staying in alignment and just keeping your vibration high. Because regardless of whatever, if at some point you still need to come do something here, that's why even the stream is still, the whole system is made for that. There will be times that things would be better here, but it's not for now.
Well, that's the thing too, is like you said, we are definitely living different realities. You have another aspect of yourself that's probably, you know, like in the dream, like Siobhan said, like I have a rich version, I have a poor version. Oh, this, and I was showing her, look, this is poor me, this is rich me, and I brought them all here.
Yeah.
This is truly happening, and we don't have to necessarily see it here, because like Siobhan was telling me, oh, actually this is not a good idea, this is going to create some sort of havoc in the universe, and then she was sent to hell because of what I did in the dream. So that was really crazy. But we do have these other versions of ourselves everywhere, and yeah, well, you know, in different places. And then what also another thought that came to mind when you were speaking is that you were saying, yeah, you know, I'm a baby in this stuff, but it really, and in another realm, you have so much experience and so much power, and it's happening now. So it's like, it's just, you know, you can connect with that version of you whenever. And it's, yeah, for me, it's like, okay, we are in this physical body, and we are in this whatever prison planet or whatever you want to call it, but we're doing stuff and we're learning things here to collect information, to data for our other higher aspects, or other, you know, other dimensional octaves aspects, because this is really what we're doing. We collect data, and through our emotions, through our actions, and through how we process them, and what the lessons that we learn. And it's like, oh, this feels hot, oh, that's already, just that is information, you know. So it's like source is experiencing itself through us, and that's what it's doing. It's like collecting data, right? So just have fun with it, right? You decide how you react to what happens to you. Really, you can see it as a good thing or a bad thing, or it's just, oh, it's there.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's not like it's that complicated.
No, it's really not.
It's not like it's that complicated. The thing about it is, that's why I love what you said today. What's the worst thing you're gonna die? And
then you go to another life.
But I'm kind of, today, let me tell you something. Sometimes I feel like I wish I hadn't discovered anything.
Oh, you say like ignorance is bliss, but yeah, but what?
Not like ignorance is bliss to that context, but it's kind of like, today you're listening to something and you're reading something, and it's giving you the information of, oh yeah, regardless of whatever, when you get out of your body, they get the memories wiped, and then you come back to start all over again. So it's like, sometimes I'm at a point where I'm just like, leave me alone. I want to have my food. I want to watch my TV. I don't give a rat's. I want to listen to my hip hop. I want to twerk. I want to do whatever I want to do. I don't care, because today is this, tomorrow is that, next tomorrow is blah, 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 blah. You're not levitating. I'm not saying what you're saying. Oh, you're not able to read palms. You're not, and I'm like, really? For something that it's like, give me a break.
Yeah, don't compare yourself to what other people are saying or doing.
I don't, but in a way, I kind of feel like left out sometimes. And I've never been like the left out of any group. I always feel
until
like
you do things, yeah.
That's why I said I feel like I'm a baby, because it's like, to me, in my mind, I'm like, look, your mates are here doing sign language, speaking, connecting with the Octarians, doing this, doing that, doing that.
I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Here you are. Here you are. You're worried about the next, I don't know. I don't know. And then sometimes I'm like, because you also mentioned something earlier, you were like, if it's supposed to happen for you, it's going to happen for you. And then sometimes in my mind, I'm like, don't tell me I'm not doing anything right, because,
no, that's not, no.
I think maybe I put a little bit too much of pressure on myself.
Yeah, and you have to see it as a game, like I was saying. It's like literally a game, but not as in like, oh, it's not taken seriously. Because I was saying,
yeah, again, but at the end of the day, what about we getting eaten by Archon vampires, or what's all this thing?
But then you restart the level. It's fine, right?
That's why that's why I really loved the lecture from Seven Boma on whatever you program on your own subconscious, because apparently he was saying, actually, this isn't the illusion, you are the illusion, because you felt like you're part of it, forgetting you're the one watching it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it gets so tricky and so many things. But if I'm correct, the images you showed were to be sat with and meditate upon before going to bed?
Yeah, and then like I was saying, you can couple this with the technique on my website, because I suggest using your own image or these images or whatever image actually, and I can send them to you as well separately if you want. I will post the recording. Yeah, this will also be available
I have
on the
a
website.
question. Would it be okay to use it not only when it's the nighttime, because maybe like can one use it as a screensaver for a while?
Yeah, although, okay, I was just gonna say this real quick, as I think it's important to realize that these do have like they're very powerful images. So one time when I did that, my phone like shut down. Like I don't know what happened to it.
What's the worst thing that can happen? Death, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
I'm just saying, but be cautious, right? Because and then I did use it even on my computer.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. For someone who used to be so like anything really death related would give me so much trauma, like so much fear. Lately I've been on a fast forward like button. And like I'm kind of feeling like, okay, let's see. Because now it's like you always thought, or I always thought what my former programming was, then you're gonna die and then you're gonna get judged, and then maybe you're gonna go to heaven, or maybe you're gonna go to hell, and this and that. And now it's kind of like, so there's people packing their bags, trying to go to Miami, trying to go to Cuba. I'm trying to pack my bags to go to like the next destination. Like, where the party at? Like when you're looking at it from that context. But this lecture was giving me, the party ain't anywhere, the party is right here. So all you're just doing is like, you're organizing your next 21st birthday in your mind, like, shit. It was like this. It was like, and it's like so crazy. Like, what kind of what are we in? You know what I'm saying? Because if it's so like that, then why do I have to hit my pinky toe against something and I'm like, it's so annoying. Like, what the hell? It's so annoying, but you just have to let your imagination run wild and accept that, because I mean, normally I would think wildly of stuff like that,
Mhm.
even when I wouldn't when I didn't really know anything that was happening. I would just be like, compare a lot of things to things. I'm just like, because I had a feeling we were all morphing even before it became a thing like metaverse. I had a feeling we were all morphing into some kind of virtual reality.
Mm.
And now it's kind of
Thing is, it is
becoming,
kind of like a virtual reality, actually,
I
like a
mean,
game, really.
you know,
So yeah, but now,
it's-
yeah, it's becoming more and more like
it's
we want to
becoming
keep
much
it
more. It's
inside.
becoming much more tangible.
Yeah, but like you're in a game within a game. It's like
Yeah, and
reflecting on this.
the thing is for me, I keep looking at it from the context of, but how did we imagine the situations that we are in right now? Does that mean you need to stretch your imagination a lot more further? Because like I said earlier, you might imagine you getting married to a 6'7", that, but that was the thought that you had in mind at the time, and then you know, thoughts create reality. So with all this stuff going on in the hair, in the ethers, and in the unseen, behind the scenes, when it manifested, yeah, like feeling, right?
Yeah.
I do. Let me read what she said.
Yeah, read it.
Yes, feeling and trusting. Yes, I do. But what I was trying to get to was that beforehand, you would just think you were just being too
Stubborn?
no, wondering.
I was thinking the word that too.
You know,
Like
sometimes you could even be maybe at a park with your family and stuff like that, maybe an amusement park or whatever, and someone would just tap you on your shoulders like, wait, what are you thinking of? You know? But whatever you were visualizing, not just because we didn't know we were the ones creating the scenarios. So you just cast it out as, oh, I don't know. But what I'm getting from programming the subconscious mind now is when you get that flash, evaluate it, visualize it, does it go with something you would want in your reality? If that, hold on to that image and make sure you keep projecting it till it comes to the physical. Isn't that what it's all about?
Write it down. Like I was saying, write it down in a journal, right?
Yeah, so the thing for me is I might not, where it's different for me is when I go to bed and I close my eyes. That doesn't happen. I just close my eyes. That's all. But I could be walking, I could be doing dishes, I could be doing laundry or whatever. I could even be talking to a client, and that's the moment something just sparks an idea. And before I would just cast it like, oh, stop thinking gibberish, or why is that on your mind now? But when you know that actually there is no space, there's no time, there is, you know, everything is just is. So just keep letting it flow, and then if you decide to watch that channel, then you click on it, and then that's just it. Because the main issue is you find yourself in this suit, which makes you feel like it's something just happening to you. Everything is just the wave, and that's all.
Yeah, exactly. So why take it so seriously, right? And it's like a game, but you're present. Like I was saying, what I said was like, yeah, this life is a game, but you want to win, so you're taking it seriously, not to the point where you're stressed, but like, or maybe some people get stressed playing games. That's ridiculous. But you know, it's like you're gonna have fun. You're there to have fun, right? Yeah.
I know. I think where it's sad is people not knowing that at all. Because I feel if you know, because I didn't even bother knowing that, but because I've always just been able to visualize myself to the best quality of myself, I never had any issues with whatever was going on in my surroundings. Had I added pressure to that, to, you know, I don't generally just care about whatever is just going on here, because when it comes to the feeling and trusting, for me, it has always just been about feeling something. I know what I would be like if I was a father. I know what I would be like if I was a wife. I know I would be like if I was a husband, you know. So for me, it's like not until I'm physically in those roles, I could always adapt. Adaptability has always been my greatest virtue. I could always adapt to situations. Like, give me the script, I'm going with it. I could always do that so far it blends with something that pleases me. But now being able to know that you literally can, you know, choose the cards that you feel like playing because there's no rules to it and add them to your reality, it gives a lot more of I think it calms the nervous system. Yes, I think it calms the nervous system. That is if you're good with yourself. That's why sometimes struggle is great. If you've gone through some struggle earlier on, you'll be able to be like, okay, there's nothing else that's coming that I couldn't face. What else, you know? What else? And a lot of people do not know how to go through that. And when they have you as friends and you help them figure that out, they don't really know what kind of tremendous leap you've helped them go through, which is why energy exchange is something. Because in a way, you polarize them and make them lighter, so there's less stress because you had a higher frequency. But people just think I'm just talking to you. No. As we talking, there's lots of things going on because the bodies are in there. You're not at your home. We're in the same space. You know, so it's a lot of things that just, for me, when it comes to the dream and everything like that, I don't know. I feel some type of way sometimes, especially when you watch movies or series, like, you know, and people can like look into the future and the past and this. I'm like, that would be so cool if I could do that. But at the same time, you're just like, whatever. I don't know why it's not happening, especially when you have people around your circle that actually can tap into that ability in a way. That's what I'm telling you. Like, now this is like the new fashion. In a way, you kind of feel like, okay, so when am I going to start seeing things?
Well, that's the thing. Is like, I think like you said, yeah, I don't compare myself, but you do. Literally, you're saying, oh, I can't do what they can do. But the thing is, you have your own gifts that you're uncovering, and they will, like you said, it's like they will come when they will come, or they, maybe you're already doing some stuff that you're not really seeing them much as gifts, but they are. And just being yourself and sharing stuff online, for example, that's already activating people in different ways.
I know.
And
yeah,
that
sure,
is power
sure.
too. Yeah, just talking as well is like, it's just that sometimes it's just about being. And you know, I used to be jealous of what certain people were doing, but then I would find out that that was actually probably not a good idea for me to do anyways. So, you know, stuff like that. So why even be jealous of that? You know, it's like, now
I'm
I
just looking at it
understand,
also.
you know?
I'm also just looking at it sometimes. Sometimes I'm looking at it from a context of you are the observer. So you're observing and you're seeing what your other paths are doing. You know, when you look at it from, you know, you're looking at it as what your other parts are doing. When I'm saying it from the context of, you kind of feel like, oh, why am I not doing it? Is because I've come to a point, like I told you earlier, I've come to a point whereby I might be somewhere having the most fun, but something behind my mind is like, okay, when is this over? Because this has been done 1 trillion times. And if this is not your first time coming here and we're always reincarnating to anywhere else, this is not like the last party ever. So it's like, where's the next like dope thing to do, you know? Well, and that was why sometimes they're like, when they say, oh, they should have never gave you niggas internet, or excuse me, when they're like, they should have never given you guys internet, it's like, okay, what now? Because I get bored easily. Like
the
so
thing is,
easily, like so fast.
Let me tell you a message I got like about 2 years ago. It was like, stop looking for the next big thing. What if the next big thing that you're looking for is you?
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Anyways, it was lovely to have
Thank
this
you.
conversation with you. It's not everyone that can relate, so thank you for creating this space where we can
Thank
come
you.
and we can express ourselves with you, and you can help give clarity, because at the end of the day, it's like what you just said. What are you looking for? At the end of the day, everything is you. So what?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
are
in a
you
way.
trying to activate something because you want to stunt? Or are you trying to activate something because, I just think coming out of religion and so many things, we kind of feel like, oh, we've missed a lot. I want to be so like,
No,
whereas
you're not
the only thing
behind.
you needed to do was just to switch your mind from the external to the internal. I know that it's you. Be it a good thing that happens to you, it's you. Be it a bad thing that happens to you, it's you. So at some point, the only thing is sometimes, because that I think it's important to precise, sometimes even with knowing that, if we're dealing with unconscious people, fine. But when we're dealing with conscious people and they know this type of information and they still choose to be nasty, then that's not cool. Although them choosing to be nasty is just a proof that no matter how conscious they are, they still have little nuances of unconsciousness. And you recognizing that is your own level of perception being clearer in every aspect of nuances than theirs. Not saying that you're better than anyone, but it's just like if the light is the sight, then you're able to see. You know what I'm saying? The light is the sight, and the sight is the consciousness.
Oh, I've never heard that before. Interesting. I'm gonna reflect on
the
that.
light is the sight, the sight is the consciousness, because
sight.
if your eyes are shut, you're dead, you're off.
I see what you mean.
You're able to see this
I get it.
because you've got the light in you, because you are on. But when you don't know that you are you are the conductor of the avatar, and you feel like the avatar is what it is, well then.
Yeah, I know, right? And Sam was saying,
well then.
Yeah. Wait, Sam was saying people can't give you the answers, but just offer a reflection. Yeah, that's so true, Sam. Thanks for sharing that. And I wanted to ask Sam too. Did you have dreams that you wanted to share today, Sam? Sorry, before, because I know she has been having some crazy stuff happening. Thank you, Dio, by the way, for sharing all that. It's like, wow,
you're
it's
welcome.
really nice.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sam.
I'm going to keep my camera off because I'm in the midst of
Go ahead. Yeah, no worries.
On here. Yeah, no, I've been having dreams, but I've been going to the lower, say, frequency bands of my consciousness, and I've been shown, I know what I've been shown. There's an awful lot of integration that I need to do around. I've been having dreams with men, like seeing a man that I like in the dream, and I've been trying to change the way I am for him to like me. So there's an aspect of myself that needs to be integrated there when it comes to insecurity, validation, acceptance, all of that stuff that I've just been shown. I'm very grateful to go to the lower parts of myself to be shown these things that actually do need to be integrated. But yeah, it's just scenarios playing out. Loads of people. I actually remember the other night I was in this pool, but on either side of the pool I was really restricted, so I only had a little bit of the pool to go around in, and on either side there was like these big armchairs, and like people, I can't remember who was sitting in the armchairs, but on either side there was maybe an oldish person on either side of the pill, and the pill was like a hexagon shape, and I couldn't get very far in the pill, and I was looping as well. There was a scenario where I was looping with this girl I can't remember it, but it's obviously looping in my reality somewhere that I need to like nip it in the bud. I don't know.
What does the hexagon mean for you? I mean, yeah, what do you think about when I say the word hexagon? What comes to mind?
I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind right now.
Mm.
On.
Well, hexagons, do they have 6 sides? 6 sides, right? Hexagons.
Yeah.
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 That's interesting because that's dimension 6 too. Like I was saying
As
earlier.
it, yeah, I actually
Well,
thought
I don't
that
know.
when you thought that.
I don't know if that's related,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, and that is the third eye, actually.
Oh,
The chakra 6.
yeah. The third eye.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
there might be. Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder about that now.
There might be a link there, or there could be maybe, yeah, like you said, something that needs integration, or maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if you could call it a blockage or something. Maybe that you can
Hmm.
focus on that the third eye, like trying to breathe into it or something, you know. Try and see, or like I said, do dream incubation. Did I tell you this? Like to ask your dream? Yes.
Yeah.
Try it and see what comes up. I think you're gonna get more on that. And you know, don't let just the things that I say influence, because there might be more behind that, but the hexagon seems important, so that's why I'm bringing it up. And if you can't make a direct correlation with something else, then that's, you know, why I thought about the 6 is something there, and the fact that it has 6 sides. And then you were walking around it, right, or something?
I was swimming.
Swimming.
I was in the pool
Oh yeah,
swimming.
pool is okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was 2 big armchairs on either side and people sitting there.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't get, it was like they were sitting on the shallow part of it and I couldn't get forward, or I don't know.
That's interesting. Okay, water usually would be linked with emotions. So how was the water? Was it like really calm? Was there like little waves or like
Yeah,
color?
it felt like it, yeah. There was a lot of people there.
Crowded. Okay. It's how about, yeah, the color of the water, anything else you can remember about it?
Blue.
Okay. More
Um,
blue. More blue. See?
blue, more
Of
blue.
course, yeah, because it could have been green or, you know, transparent.
Yeah,
You know, but
yeah, because
Uh-huh.
strange things happen.
That's interesting. Yeah. So there's a lot of people in there. That's also.
It was like an old, I felt like it was an old person's home, you know, like
Yeah, you told me about this, I think.
did I tell you about that? I keep dreaming
I
about
think you
old
told me
people.
about an old
Oh
man.
no,
Or
that
something.
was an old man that I dreamt of, and
That was another one. So
that
that's
was another
okay. So
one.
that's why I'm remembering this could be like a try to write down the recurring themes eventually too, because
Yeah.
there's like, yeah, old age is the theme, it seems like. So that's one. The blue, the hexagon would be like dimension 6 perhaps. Oh, that is a very interesting combination. You definitely should ask more about this stuff. And then but yeah, and then you had a bunch of people like in the water, so which could be linked with emotions at the same time. Is there maybe a part of you that thinks like that you're getting old or something, or that you're, maybe there's a part of you that's like saying, oh, I don't want to get old, or something about that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you look at yourself sometimes and say like, oh, I'm getting old?
Well, maybe I do, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I need to stop
Subconsciously,
this from
yeah, that I
happening.
don't realize that I'm doing it, yeah.
Could be, but like, yeah, I mean that there could be something there, because I mean that happens to a lot of people, even myself. I'm just like, when is this gonna stop? Like, when am I gonna be like, when am I gonna be a Brazilian? I can like look younger already. And
Oh my god.
it doesn't make you younger. It like, I've seen people do this stuff where they're like, while they're fasting, and then the after pictures and stuff, and you can see that they have less, you know, their eyes are less baggy.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I don't know if I could get into that, but or not yet at least. But I'm like, yeah, that would be like the solution to not getting old, because I don't want to look old. I don't want to get old, but that's, our bodies do that here, unless, yeah, you learn how to become an eternal being apparently, or something. And we have all these things that we get told all the time about how we can live forever, and that the human body is literally capable of that. And in the books I've been reading, it's been like documented, right? People who live over 100 years, and that before people used to live way longer.
Mhm.
They're telling us lies in terms of the life expectancy stuff. It's like there are more people that surpass the age of 70. Yeah, so that inflates to the number of like the what's it called, the life expectancy, but there are way less people that actually live over 100 years old, whereas before there were more people that did that. The people who died like in the age of 40 and stuff, it was, there were diseases or accidents or whatnot, and that, we had less population. So so it's normal that when you have a bigger population and everybody eats crap and dies at 70, then still the curve is still going to look like everybody's living longer, like the life expectancy is longer, but that's not true. So and they're saying, medical advancements and stuff, but in reality it's been the other way around. We're going down in terms of how long we can actually live. So I've been into that a lot, and like worried about, or not worried, but like just not really wanting to get old, and feeling like I'm kind of running out of time also.
That's come up for me before, actually.
And then with that is like the old age, and like you feel like there's like you can't move the same, look the same, it's all the stuff that comes with it. Those stuff that comes with it, doesn't look so good. So it's like, I don't want that to happen. So anyway, I don't know, it just, that's a thought. I mean, that could be something, but there's probably more there. So just keep asking your dream questions, and let me know what comes up, because
so like, Ishel, what do I say? Like, if I'm asked and say, okay, I just keep it straightforward, right? What does this mean? And I reference whatever I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe more clarification on what the meaning of this symbol is, or something like that. You can just write a direct to simple question is okay. And then just think about what the possible answers could be. Like, imagine dream images perhaps as well, and be like, sometimes I set an intention, like if I dream this, it will be a positive response to my question, or if I feel good in the dream, it's a positive response. If I feel bad, it's a negative response, because sometimes it's not directly linked to the question. Sometimes it's just the feeling of the dream, and it could be a yes or a no. You could also say, for example, does this mean that? And then the yes or no kind of thing. Play it kind of like you would do with tarot,
I never used tarot.
You never used tarot. Okay, well, but the questions that you ask sometimes when you're pulling cards,
like cards,
you're like, oh, what what does this person feel for me, or whatnot, stuff like that. But it has to be simple questions that cards can answer with yes or no, or an image that will give you the idea of what it means. And so the dreams are pretty much the same, actually. It's like that. It's like living in a card game, card reading for me. That's what that's what I can relate it to. But what's coming to mind is that there's no need to put pressure on yourself. I think you are definitely putting a little too much pressure on yourself, and kind of even like what Dai was saying, like, why haven't I activated this? Why am I not capable of that? What am I bringing to this world? And it's like everything is going to the pieces of the puzzle are going to get put together, or they are already anyways. It's all there already. It's just not really materialized yet, but you can feel that. So it's like you're wanting to connect to that, and you want it to happen now before you get too old for it to actually happen. But no, there's no such thing. And I mean, I've even thought about how some people, like, let's say Claudette, what they're doing now, it's like they've been working for it for 30 years, and it's until she's like 58 years old that everything is coming into materialization. So I'm like, I'm a baby, kind of like what Daya said. I'm a baby. I'm gonna enjoy my baby time, because as a human being, we could literally live forever, and my age is literally considered being a baby. So I'm like, why do I worry, right? So I love how this is tying in, because I think it's pertinent to everybody here. It's like, it's all a game, and we are going to bring forth what we're going to bring forth when it's time. And we're already doing stuff just by being here even and recording this with you guys. We're sharing this information online later, so people are going to listen to it maybe a year later and be like, oh wow, yeah, that's interesting. And it's a year later, and that's where they're at in their journey, and we're contributing to that. So and they're going to learn from what you guys are saying as well. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, yeah, let me know what else, if you have any other thoughts, Sam, or if another dream came through while we were talking here that has a link or something.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. How about Siobhan? Do you want to share a dream or anything else? Let me know. I want you guys to, like, you know, share everything you wanted to today, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
I think I'm good, thank you, love.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, it's been great talking with you guys. And yeah, so we're gonna do another one of these. I'll be contacting you again sometime pretty soon, probably after the summer break. And yeah, so in the meantime, keep your dream journals, or write down everything that comes to mind, even during the day, because like I said, this is a dreamscape. So just live with what's it called, not live with it, like learn to see it all as something that you can interact with even here, not just when you're asleep. So anyway, thank you guys, and I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you for all that joined in for the recording too. See you again soon.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Many thanks.
Yay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.